Hey everyone, what's going on? So, some of you might already know that last week we rescued 7 ducks. We had some good feedback about that, and someone mentioned starting a YouTube channel, which we've been talking about, but we put off because we knew that it was a lot of work. Well, then today happened, and really too much has happened today to put into a single Facebook post or something like that, so I figured I'd start a video. Basically, I just finished putting in 2 pear trees that we got from the greenhouse here in Greenville in East Tennessee. Really great guys over there. Robert, top guy, top bloke. That was my plan to get done this morning. However, things went a bit differently. Yeah, I'll explain in a second. So here's one of the 2 trees that I put in. There's the other one. I was planning to get these girls in sometime last week, but then obviously those ducks needed saving, I guess, so that took up the weekend. Then obviously planned to get these in this morning, and well, what happened was right behind you guys, let me see if I can turn around without making you guys feel seasick. This field over here normally houses goats and a couple of chickens. Well, actually 12 chickens. Belongs to a older couple who live over the way there. One of her roosters actually woke us up this morning right behind our bedroom. We woke up, heard the rooster crowing, thought that's a bit odd, didn't sound like our rooster, and then there's a car going by. It's okay, I'm not professional, I apologize. Yeah, it didn't sound like our rooster, so stood up, went to the bathroom, saw out of our window that we had a new visitor, rushed outside to make sure that there wasn't any bravado, any big fights going on between our rooster and this new guy, this new fighter, I guess. I don't know what you want to call him. Took about 30 minutes to catch him. I don't know if you've ever tried to catch a rooster, but that's the second time this morning that I've attempted in my life to catch a rooster, a cockerel, and I swear those things are faster than anything I've ever witnessed. But I managed to catch him. Took him back to our neighbour, asked if he belonged to her, and she said that he was indeed hers, because we worried for a second that he'd just been dumped. But she said he'd been causing her so much trouble since she lost the majority of her flock, and she explained that she had 12 chickens, and right now she's down to 2 roosters and 1 chicken. So I'm guessing that's why this guy decided to go on a bit of an adventure this morning. She basically said that since she'd lost 75% of her flock, that he had been a real troublemaker, and she was fixing to put him in the pot and cook him up in some chicken stew, unless we wanted him. She said, "Do you want him?" And I guess we couldn't say no. We have nowhere to put him. Well, we had nowhere to put him. I'll show you in a second how today has gone. So yeah, carried him back, put him in the shed which I built last week, just for the time being, until we could figure out what the heck we were going to do, because he couldn't go in with our flock because we've already got a rooster in there with 6 birds, 6 hens, 1 rooster. Yeah, there was no way. Plus this morning obviously they had a bit of a boxing match through the fence, so it wasn't going to happen. So figured I would show you around, explain what happened today, and then you'll see what we've got going on elsewhere also. So let's go look around. So this right here is the front garden. We've got nothing going on really. There's a football goal, soccer goal that the kids like to play. Those 2 pear trees are the start of what's happening back here. And then, it's a fairly humble abode, just half an acre in a small neighborhood in East Tennessee. We're nothing special really. Don't claim to be mega farmers or homesteaders even, really. This is just a small market garden that we've got going on. So this box here obviously does not normally live here. That's actually going to become the duck house, because the ducks are currently, yeah, look at the state of this. The ducks are currently in the coop, which will later belong to these girls. They're getting ready to get out of there real soon, and that brooder is just like a bookshelf laid down, taking the shelves out of. It seems to work. Anyway, so their home is actually, we'll get to that in a second, here's the duck house, which that in itself was an adventure. We had to put that on the top of our minivan because it didn't fit in the trunk or boot, however you want to say it. Up the hill is the first flock of chickens we had, which I am dubbing the party girls, since they live under the party flags. We put those up to protect them from birds of prey, predators from above, hawks and stuff. There's Kimbo Slice, named after the infamous MMA street fighter Kimbo Slice, because he has a big old bushy beard and he thinks he's mean. So this is the party girl flock area, omelette chicken coop. It's an igloo cube. We got this year. This is the omelette fencing too, which is easy to move. So yeah, they've got a nice area in there, and I'll take you around to where they used to live. So they used to live over in this corner. We bought this coop over here really cheap, discount. Well, I say really cheap, it was about $200-300, and I wasn't too happy, but it was fine for our 6 chickens. I'm in the process of modifying it. So it used to just be this small area here was enclosed and this was all external. I'm putting panels on it to enclose it as one big coop, and that way we should be able to fit more chickens in there, and that should be ready for the 12 chicks that we've got sitting in our garage right now. They're raring to get into this coop. However, right now we have these girls, also known as the quack dealers. 7 Pekin ducks. Obviously we posted on Facebook, rescued them last week, well, just the other side of the weekend, so only a few days ago really. Managed to hustle to get some kiddie pools, and we already had that playhouse as some extra shelter which we were planning for our chicks. So yeah, in came the old quack dealers, and we've had those for a few days now. They're settling in a bit, but soon they will be moving to just down here by the garden. Here's our raised beds. This is a in-ground bed, which we have lots of vegetables coming. I will be building a duck house similar to this shed right here, probably over in this area right here. That's changing the focus, that's terrible. Yeah, I'm not professional, hopefully I'll get better at this. Anyway, here we go. This is the protagonist of today's story. Currently sitting in this coop which we bought from a friend. It's actually 2 coops off Amazon, which I would never purchase because these 2 coops together are maybe just about big enough for this guy. He's a fairly small rooster. We believe he is a lemon cuckoo Moran rooster, on the smaller side compared to Kimbo Slice. We've learnt that his name is Pedro. So yeah, he was sitting, he came running up that way this morning, charging over to our rooster right here. I managed to catch him, took him back to where he belonged in the neighborhood over there. She didn't want him, she was going to cook him, put him in the shed whilst we figured out what the heck was going on. Found a friend who had these 2 coops which weren't being used anymore, so he is currently in quarantine. So he's going to be staying in quarantine back there probably until we can get the quack dealers out of the chicks enclosure, which I have got their new duck house built and put a Premier 1 fence around it, which we're excited about. Then we can get this old chicken run fully converted to a new chicken run. He, Mr. Pedro, back here, can come out of our quarantine coop into his new enclosure, and then as soon as his girls are fully grown up and ready to go, we will introduce him to the 12 chicks which we currently have sitting in our garage. So that's what's going on in terms of our poultry. Our flock has rapidly increased this year. We had talked about getting ducks next year. Yeah, but then the ducks showed up, and then this guy showed up today, and he's a good looking guy. He's quite an interesting chicken, interesting rooster. So how can we say no? I guess since I've given you the tour, let me bring you down here and I'll show you our garden really quick. It's not exactly great, but I might as well show you what's going on. So we were going to put a flower bed in here on this plastic, But this area is now going to become the quack dealer's pen. We put this bed in at the end of last year, so this soil, we amended the clay soil, which is terrible in this area, with gypsum to help break it down a bit, chemically release those bonds. We currently have a few dragon's tongue beans in, a small amount of lettuce going in, but really we're waiting to transplant what we've got inside out into this bed. This looks ugly as anything right now, but we will get there, I promise you. And as far as practicality is concerned, we have the raised beds up and running. We had these running, we moved into this property just over a year ago, and we had these beds up and running within a few months. Tori was heavily pregnant at the time with Alfie, our little 1-year-old. But we smashed these beds out to see what we could grow, give it a bit of a trial run. So right now we've got some snap peas. We have multiple different salads coming through, which we're hopeful the cold weather hasn't put off too much. But there's a few salads coming through here. I think we've lost these beans, but that's okay. That's some valerian from last year. It's come back strong. We have some volunteer mint, which we cannot remove that pot because that mint has actually rooted itself through the bottom of the pot in the walkway. So I guess that is a squatter. I believe that bed right there is echinacea, again, has come back from last year. This bed seems to be struggling, but should be some more salad seedlings. And I think this bed is radishes. We had a problem with squirrels or raccoons basically burying stuff in this bed, and they weren't necessarily eating the seeds or the seedlings, but they were burying so much in this bed. You can still see roughly right here that they were really messing up where we planted. And again, I think this bed is struggling, but should be beets. We have this small arch which I put together, and it costs, you know, under $30 because I'm an absolute cheapskate. Cardboard for now, but that will be mulched and we'll get that looking pretty, I promise. Composters, still working on compost. Right here is a flower bed which we put in. That still needs some work. I was supposed to cut this grass this morning, but then obviously Pedro the rooster showed up. I did manage to get the front cut so I could put those trees in, and I will finish watering them once I'm done with this video. This window right here actually looks into our nursery, and you can see our grow light in the closet back there and a few of our transplants waiting to come out, squash, etc, etc. So that's convenient to have that window to the world right there. Right now we plan to put some more beds in, not 100% sure where. Rainwater collection system needs work. Shed's finally built. That sat outside for a while, but I got to it. It seems like the quack dealers are looking for attention, so let's just run back up there really quick and see what these girls want. Kimbo, Slice, again, fairly angry at the newcomer, but he'll get over it. Here are the quack dealers, loving life now. There was 8 when they were abandoned. 1 got hit by a car, sadly. So we only have 7, but they're settling down quite well. I'm sure we'll get used to having them around. But yeah, there's lots to come. So yeah, we got lots to come. Watch this space. Hopefully I'll get better at making these videos. It might be an easier way to keep everyone updated. But until next time, sayonara. I'm just going to jump in here and explain why I was heavily out of breath in most of that video. I have a dad bod because I am a dad. Here's Alfred, our 1-year-old. How you doing? And also, I had just dug 2 holes in the hardest clay you've ever witnessed in human history. Our ground here is basically brick. So, yeah, putting those trees in was quite an ordeal. And I'm definitely not the fittest individual. But maybe that will improve as I do more yard work. We will see.
Nah.
Yeah?
No.
Yeah.